Changing out the Rubicon stickers. You can see they're no longer here. There is a little bit of a residue, the glue that it left behind, but with these you can literally just pick at a corner, it'll start coming up and then they'll just peel right off. So I didn't really feel like I needed to show you guys that step, but I'll get some Goo Gone or something, get that little bit of glue residue off there, and then I'll show you how to put the new ones on. Alright, a little bit of scrubbing, some Goo Gone. Now there's no more signs of where it used to say Rubicon, so we know we have no more glue. You can tell as you're wiping whether your rag's still kind of sticking to certain areas or not. But we've got both sides cleaned up like that, so let's check out the new decals. Alright, so there's the new decal. So what I'm going to do is kind of measure the space in between the hood latch there and the back of the hood, and get this thing, measure this as well, and figure out where it needs to be centered, and then mark that with some masking tape so I know where the edges are. Alright, so the decal was 23 3/4 inches long, and then between the hood latch there and the back of the hood was 33 3/4 inches long, so that was pretty lucky. So basically able to come in 5 inches from that, 5 inches from that gives me my 2 edges for where the decal will go right in between those. Okay, so the next thing I did was just spray down the hood there. I just used glass cleaner and then spray the back of the decal as well. That allows you to set it in place, and then you can actually shimmy it around. So I could move this right now, slide it up and down if I wanted to, but I kind of put it where it looked right just by looking at it, and then grab the tape measure from the bottom of the letter to the bottom of the hood in a few different spots, make sure it's flat across. And then we're going to use our little plastic tool here and just smooth out, kind of get some of the water out from behind the letters. So just like that, all over the decal. Next thing you want to do is, as this dries, kind of make sure you're not getting any spots not sticking down. And if you are, you can run your little squeegee tool over them, or just your finger if it's just a little spot. Kind of get that fluid out from behind it, and then you can take a paper towel and even press on some of those spots, get some of that fluid out from behind that paper. That'll help it dry faster once you know you have it kind of locked in place where you want it. So I've only really got one spot over here that's kind of trying to stick up on me a little bit, but we'll get it to stick down. Same thing over here. Measured it out, measured the space at the bottom, and then, like I said, I was just taking my little tool here and squeezing out the top half, get all that fluid out from behind that paper, and then the bottom half, and just go letter by letter, squeeze it out, just get all that extra fluid out of there. Again, make sure everything's sticking down. If you get a lot of extra fluid coming out from behind them, you can grab the paper towel and kind of get rid of it so it doesn't get sucked back underneath that paper. The more fluid you have behind there, the longer it's going to take to dry, and the longer these letters are going to try to pop up on occasion. So get rid of all that extra fluid out of there, and it'll go a lot faster. So we're going to let these sit for a little while, let some of that moisture kind of evaporate from behind those, and then we'll peel off that clear backing paper on there. A couple other pieces of advice I would have. I've done quite a few decals. I mean, especially when you're working with something relatively large like this, make sure you're not in a windy area. Wind is your enemy. So I'm kind of by my house here, under the overhang and everything. It's not a windy day, but when you peel that backing paper off there, if you've got wind whipping that paper around, it sticks to itself, you're done. It's over. So you want to make sure it doesn't stick to itself. Having an extra set of hands, somebody that can help you spray and position it and everything, is really nice. But that gives you guys a pretty good idea of how to do that process. And then I will show you what it looks like with all the paper and everything off it here in a little bit. Alright, now that we've let them sit for a little while, last thing you're going to do is come back and peel off this transfer paper. And you want to go very, very slow with it, just in case any of the decal tries to stick to the paper. And peel it at this angle, this like 45-degree angle. And like I said, every time you get to a new letter, really, really watch in there to make sure it's not coming back with it. And take your time. If you are in a rush with this and it starts peeling one of the letters off, again, you might have just ruined your decal. So Take your time, watch it. If a letter starts really sticking to it, then you can stop and actually use the transfer paper to push it back down, get the decal to stick to the vehicle again, and then keep pulling. Sorry for moving the camera around. I have a fly flying around my face. So again, you just peel really, really slow. See that corner right there just came up just a little bit, so I want to use that paper to push it down, make sure it sticks, and again, just come back over it really slow. It didn't pull up that time, so that's why we're taking it slow though. Had I not been paying attention, or if I had just grabbed this and pulled real fast, I might have pulled the whole eye off. Or pulled it just far enough that it laid back down with a wrinkle in it. And you don't want wrinkles, that's for sure. Get better grip. Almost there. You can see a little bit of the moisture that kind of got between the backing paper and the decal. That's fine, that will go away. So there we go. Big improvement in my opinion over just the small black letters that it had from the factory. Actually got a little bit of that blue in there that I talked about having an accent color inside and outside. There it is. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, keep seeing what we do to this Jeep, and watch our other videos. Like this video if it helped you, and thanks for watching. Say hi to Grant. One last little piece of advice, and that is, don't do this right before you need to go somewhere. I'm going to let this thing sit out in the sun. I don't have any plans to drive it for the rest of the night, so it's going to sit here for the next, several hours, overnight really, but, at least make sure you have a little bit of time for it to really bake on there, stick on there for a little bit before you go driving, especially if you did the wet method. If you did it dry, which is not what I showed, but if you do it dry, then they're pretty well stuck on there immediately and you don't have to worry about it. But doing it wet like that, you need a little bit of time for all that glass cleaner or whatever you use to kind of get out from behind the stickers so they're really all the way stuck.